Hello, I'm so happy to be here with you today to talk about something that is more than contagious. It's not only contagious, it's infectious. It's actually irresistible. So, I'm wondering, do you have any idea what I am talking about? If you don't already know, I can hear things like enthusiasm and like a smile. And you would be right, those things are infectious and those are irresistible. And today I'm coming to you talking about energy. Our energy is infectious, it is irresistible. And not only for anyone that we happen to be coming into contact with, but of course, as relational parents, we're really focused here on our children. And there are a few reasons why, and I just want to illuminate a couple of reasons why our energy is so contagious and so irresistible for our children. And that is that obviously we are very important people in their world, whether they are 2, 12, or 20, right? We're very important adults in their world. And that looks a little different depending on their age, but also, and this is even truer the younger that they are, our children are very, very astute readers of energy. And they're astute readers of nobody's energy better than our energy as their parents. So, and I know that you know this too, right? And you can read people's energy and it's infectious for you too. And just in case you have any skepticism here, I'm going to just share a few fun examples, right? Do you have a friend or a family member that oftentimes at get-togethers or holidays will just go into a wild laughing fit over whatever it is, a joke or something funny that you said or something funny on TV or whatever, and just loses it until there are like tears coming out of their eyes? That is definitely infectious. You know, even if you're not laughing at the same thing, right? You might be just laughing at them. It's just catching, right? So that's one fun example. Also, if you have a friend or family member, or maybe it's just you, who is extremely social, extremely extroverted, and maybe pretty focused on fun, you find yourself showing up in a more extroverted way when you're with that person because their energy, it's like contagious. And maybe one of your kids is that, and maybe one of your kids is kind of that, you know, life of the party kind of ringleader human who really brings out the extrovert and the fun in everyone. That is contagious energy, right? And I'll just share one fun example from my own family and with my own kids. I have a cousin, and he's a distant cousin, so I don't see him all that often. But his name is Ted, and I think my boys met him like once, maybe twice. But this was the first time that they ever met him, and they were in elementary school, and he was coming over, and I have the benefit of knowing how Ted is, and Ted is one of these people who is like just all about fun, very contagious energy. And so he showed up, and he knew, he knew something about my boys before he showed up. So he shows up with a couple of ice cream cakes, one for each of my boys. And he also lets them shoot his cell phone. I'm sure he had a spare. Okay, but they didn't know that. He lets them shoot his cell phone with a BB gun. Well, they just thought it was like the best thing ever. It's like that. It's just the energy that animates someone. And we all know that it's not limited to the positive, to that high vibration kind of energy. It's all kinds of energy. You know that, because I know too myself, if I have had a very frustrating day, and I'll go back to, when I was working for others, if I've had a very frustrating day and it started out, with like a crook in my neck, or I didn't sleep well or whatever, and 3 people cut me off on my way into work, and just someone didn't like my presentation or whatever it was, and things kind of keep piling up, and then the energy before I even open the door is just really, well, kind of in the toilet, right? It's bad. So no matter what our energy is, it is contagious. We are transmitting it, no matter what it is, to those around us, obviously including our kids. And our energy lets them know what they can bring us and what it might not be in their best interest to bring us. I don't know if you remember back to when you were a little kid and you wanted something, and you wanted, I don't know, the ice cream or an extra cookie or whatever it was. You knew when to ask mom that she was likely to say yes. Maybe it was as soon as she got on the phone, but you knew if she was on a downward spiral, that's probably not the time to ask, right? So we're, whatever our energy is, our kids are feeling it, and they're feeling what they can and can't bring us based on our energy. So we know this, and my point here today is to help you understand how important this is in the dynamic between you and your child or your children. And it's so important that it's a great idea to help yourself become more aware of it, become more aware of your energy, more aware of your feelings. And, these days, there's a lot of uncertainty, right? There's a lot of waking up about the fact that we thought we knew how things were. We thought there was some level of certainty or predictability or control about how things were that has been shaken up quite a bit. And so there are a lot of people with some or a lot of anxiety that is being triggered by that. And I think, becoming aware of our anxiety and the level of our anxiety is a really good thing for us to do, because stuffing it down and pretending it's not there, I guess that's an option, but here's the thing, is that you can't fake being calm to your kids. And in fact, a group of relational parents is on a journey with me, and we are reading a book called The Self-Driven Child. It's a wonderful book, and one of the chapters in the book is called The Non-Anxious Presence. I love the name of that chapter. And the idea is that we as parents, one of the best things, the best gifts that we can give our children is to be that non-anxious presence for them in their lives. And I'm going to go into that a little bit in another episode, dive a little bit deeper into that. But the main thing here to underline is that you can't fake it. They feel it. They might not be able to articulate it or name it, but they feel it, and it is contagious. And there are record numbers, record proportions of teenagers and tweens and kids who are feeling a lot of anxiety. And don't get me wrong, there are a number of possible, reasons, of course, for that. But what we can do as parents is what we can do ourselves, and to become aware of our own and take some steps to lower our own levels of anxiety will not only pay dividends for us, but also for our families and our children as well. And so I'm not a therapist, but I am going to share with you one practice which is scientifically proven to lower anxiety in the body if you really do it fully. And it's deep breathing. So I'm going to invite you, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to invite you to take 5 deep breaths with me. And this is such a powerful practice that I do it almost all the time when I'm holding group classes and also when I'm doing one-on-one coaching. We start our sessions with some deep breathing to get a little out of the swirl and slow it down a little bit. So I'm going to invite you, your first breath, inhale, nice and deep and slow, and make your belly as big as you can. And then a nice, complete exhale. And you can feel free to close your eyes, unless you're driving, of course. No operating heavy machinery and closing your eyes. But I want you to take another one and imagine taking the front of your body up as you inhale deeply, and then your back body descending on the exhale. And then the third one will go a little bit more specific with the shoulders. So taking the shoulders up a little bit on the inhale, and then back and down, relaxing on the exhale. And the last two, I won't narrate for you, but you can close your eyes if you can. Excellent. The great thing is you can do that anytime you have 30 seconds, even if it means at work, going into the bathroom and shutting the door in the stall and taking your 5 deep breaths by yourself. You can do it while you're at one of the longer stoplights. You can do it anytime, right when you're going to bed, when you wake up. The thing is, your breath is connected to your nervous system, and your nervous system is sending signals and messages to every single cell in your body. So it actually is scientific. It's medical. It's scientific. Use it. It's your breath. So use that as a tool until next week, and we're going to the next couple of weeks stay with this whole idea of anxiety and what we can do to take it down a notch for our children and for ourselves. Until then, see you next time.